Here is the data val we'll be using. We have the pre and post-test scores, and we have the teaching format. This is the example we used in the course lecture. Before we run the test, let's check the two important assumptions, especially for Ancova. First, the covariate should be linearly related to the dependent variable at each level of the independent variable. Then the covariate does not interact with the independent variable. Okay, let's do it one by one. In order to check if the covariate is linearly related to the outcome variable, we will generate a scatter plot. For that purpose, we go to Graphs, Chart Builder, click OK. We want a scatter plot. This is the one we will be using. Move it to the, call it the graph window. We move the post-test to y-axis. We move the pre-test to x-axis. And then we set the color by teaching format so we can see how they differ by groups. So here's the graph. It's a bit hard to directly detect if the relationship is linear. I would say roughly it is linear. So in order for us to see that clearly, we can draw a regression line, like the linear line, on top of the plot. So in order to do that, we just double click the chart editor as we did, then click on elements, fit line at subgroups, close, then close the chart editor window. Now we can see the lines with clearly here. So roughly we can see we assume there is a linear relationship between the covariate and the outcome, which is the post-test score. Now let's move to the next assumption. We will sort of run the Ancova, but by testing the interaction between the covariate, which is the pre-test score, and the independent variable, which is the teaching format. So let's go to Analyze, General Linear Model, Univariate. Then we put our post-test score as the dependent variable. Teaching format is our grouping variable, which is the fixed vector. Now we have covariate as pre-test scores. In order to check that assumption, we go to Model. Instead of full factorial, we build terms ourselves. Then we click each individual variable to the model window. Here we just use Control, then select both teaching format and pre-test. Drag both variables together to this window. Make sure interaction is selected here. So now we'll be testing the mean effect of teaching format, pre-test, and the interaction of the two terms. Let's click Continue and OK. At this time, we are not interested in checking the Ancova output yet. We simply wanted to see if there is an interaction between the teaching format and the pretest, which is a covariate. You can see from the results, there is no interaction. Now we can move forward to run the Ancova test. So we go to Analyze, General Linear Model, Univariate. So everything is the same here. We just need to go back to use the full factorial. So at this time, we are not interested to checking the interaction between pretest and the teaching format. We'll just use the default setting, which is the full factorial. So we are just interested in the mean effect of teaching format and the pretest. Now we will run the full factorial test. Click continue. There is another way to make changes. So we can click reset. Basically, we just need to reselect the variables we need. Post-test scores move to here. Here is the teaching format as the fixed vectors. Then we have the pretest as the covariate. At this time, if we click model, it will be the default setting, which is the full factorial. Next, we want to go to options to make a few changes. So we wanted to run descriptive statistics and the homogeneity tests as we did before. One more thing we wanted to do is to run the post hoc comparison, which is the EM means for the Ancova procedure. So we move the teaching format here. So we will generate the estimated means for each teaching format. So we'll have 3 comparisons. We use Bufferoni for adjustment. Then we click continue. Now we can run the Ancova test. Click OK. Here are the output tables we need for results interpretation. Now you can go back to the course lecture to view how these tables can be interpreted. Thank you.